Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to my channel, AmusedJester. My name is Junior, and today we're going to review the 1/6 scale limited edition 1989 Batman from Jazzinc dioramas. So this is a 1/6 scale display pose-seated Batman. This is only categorized as an accessory. It is not an action figure. I don't believe there's any articulation in this figure at all. This box comes did come in a brown shipper box, but it didn't have any corner protectors, and it was wrapped in clear plastic. I just took it out because it was too glary, and of course the unboxing out of the shipper box is kind of boring anyway. So I just wanted to show you the box as it is right now. As you can see, matte, plain black, and then you have this nice figure that's kind of like embossed or different sticker. And great background of the Gotham City skyscape. This is the actual figure photography as being shown over here. So that one. Here's the back and everything. So all the information, warning, features, and all that stuff. Here is the side, and here's another part of the side. So, and then some more products that came from Jazzinc, the Bat Signal, the BVS Batmobile, which I have the original of, where you can transform it from the BVS to the Justice League version. I have this one, the 1966 Batmobile. I have the Batwing, and I don't have the 2022 Batmobile, but I just basically kept it to the classics, the one that I grew up with. So let me see. I'll do a quick unboxing just to show you how it looks like, but I'll do it in time lapse. All right, so that's it out of packaging. As you can see, I just stopped, so everything's as you will see it. Material wise, this feels like good durable plastic, and this is, which is weird. Let me put on my glasses because I want to verify and make sure. You would almost think that this would be separate cast because it's so hard. It will be a difficult thing to cast this and keep that sharpness thing, but no, it's actually part of the arm and glove. This is cast in one piece. It's not glued, so that's actually pretty interesting. No, it's gotta be glued. I can't believe he did that in one cast. This is separate, as you can see. You can see the seams. I mean, like, that is amazing. So you won't be afraid of this one popping off or anything. This is like, I don't know how they did this. This is one pretty solid plastic, and yet when it comes to the fins, it's nice and pliable. So it's not gonna get broken or anything unless you apply extreme force, I suppose. So yeah, that's it for that. And as you can see, it's magnetized. And let's look at the head. Is the head magnetized as well? It comes off. Wow. It's not magnetized. It's actually got a peg ball in there. I don't think you're going to be able to get any kind of movement on this, right? Because, you know, we all know this is so stiff. But we got a little bit. That's interesting. I wasn't expecting that. The arm, this hand over here is fixed. There is no movement or rotation whatsoever except for the head on this figure. But that's, you know, and this is for the Batwing rendition. This is also on a magnet, and we can see ring for correct leg length was added. And that's what this was popped off. So it is supposed to be there. And it's just basically just sitting here. That's why it popped off like that. Like so. And you just plug it in. So this is not magnetized, and it's just, you just put it in. You're harder than I was expecting. Okay. But this, I mean, you can get some rotation because it's a plug-in, a little bit more softer rubber or plastic than normal. This is flat because you want it to sit naturally or lay naturally on the cushion. To remove this and replace the arms is a pull-out, which is fairly easy because, you know, it's designed and shaped that way, but it plugs in. Oh, so you get this. I'm not sure if it was a good idea to have the octagonal or pentagon shape here, because you're kind of limited in the range of how you're gonna put it, but plugs in pretty good. This is for the Batmobile. So, oops, got squished over here. I wonder if it's easier to put it in without that. So, let's see. This, I'm not sure if it's meant to be like that or this is closer to the center. I mean, it's the only way. And I would assume this is the natural position. It should be because of the way the muscle lines up in the back. So, like I said, so see, that's got to be the natural way. So I don't even know why they put in the pentagon shaped form here. I guess it's just to make sure that everything aligns properly, so you don't have, so the muscles won't look off when you're rotating it. There's really no reason to be able to rotate it, but unless I guess you want to. And then this thing is basically a short cape. Why would you even need a long cape anyway? Because if you do, all it's gonna do is it's gonna bulk up, take space. And yes, look, it's even good that it's a thin material. It's even good it's not too much. It's not gonna bulk up and push your figure off to the side. So I feel that is the correct thought process of that. Let me see. Let's see. I can put this on the 1989 Batmobile, but it's gonna be. This is meant for my Batwing too. Let me just hold on a second. Let me put this off camera. So it wasn't really that hard to put it on. I just needed to make sure it's pushed in properly. So I bought this for my Batwing, not for my Batmobile. But I think when I purchased this was $125, and like for $125 to get this, and it completely completes your Batmobile or your Batwing. It just, like my Batmobile, I don't mind. That's the reason why I only got one, because the Batmobile I want the canopy closed anyway to complete that beautiful piece. But for the Batwing, because it's got the transparent canopy for the plane, I do need a Batman on that one. But there's the face. Initially, I was kind of hesitant on this face. It felt like the mask was bigger than it should be, but in hand, it's pretty awesome. I do have of course, the original Hot Toys. The eyes are not movable. So as you can see, the emblem is smaller in this one than this. But this lies so much more nicer than Hot Toys. See that? This one lies perfectly. So I'm not much of I'm not that much into detail, right? So you guys would probably, like some people out there watching right now, could probably say, "Oh, this is much more accurate because the mask is much more bigger compared to the body than this to the head, and then this one." I don't know. It looks good, and look, they applied texture similar to the amount as texture as the original, not like the one that was so big, so raised that it looked like orange peels, honestly, and it's just not proportioned to the 1/6 scale. It shouldn't be that raised, and there is a difference to the design of the bodies. You can see it's more raised here than here. Different design on the muscles here as well from the abdomen. I mean, it's like it's a completely different sculpture, so you're gonna see differences and everything. I'm not gonna be too nitpicky about it because it's an accessory that I'm putting on my Batmobile, and it's 125. I believe it's 125. I remember when I bought this, I was like thinking, man, that is such a great deal. Let me double check that. Yeah, 125. That's crazy. That's a crazy good deal. Plus shipping with about $45. It ended up being like 170 or something like that. But I cannot believe that. But it just finishes it, you know. Um, yeah. The detail on the boots. There you go. It even has the Nike logo, but not, or the Nike swipe, but not the Nike logo. Comparing it with the Hot Toys again. Oh, the Hot Toys doesn't have that. Look at that. The hands. This is my original one, so it's kind of age, you know. It's like, look at my cape. It's not bad. Like it's kind of holding up, but it's leather. Here it is. There's the bad part. Anyway. Yeah, I'm really really happy with this one. Like maybe articulation, but I'm not gonna play with this one at all. I think it's a good. Look at that. I think it's a good. Um, I was it not transition, but it's a good judgment call to make it just like this for 125. Keep the cost down. Get what you do what you needed to do to get it out. You know what I mean? But okay, so let's try and put this on the Batmobile and see how it looks. All right, I'm gonna apologize right now. This is gonna be kind of hard to see because I don't really don't have a lot of room to maneuver in my area, and there's really no way to show this with just me um, doing it on my own. You know what? It's been so long since I've done this. I've kind of forgotten how to open this, but in my own fashion, the only way to open this is as carefully as possible. That's the most it can go. I believe you can remove, if I remember correctly, you can remove the canopy on the Batmobile. Um, I think by squeezing the sides. Oh, yeah. And that just probably is the easiest way of doing things. I don't know if this comes out. I think it does. Like if I do like that, then I got more space. As you can see, that I like the fact that it's like that. It just makes it easier to remove. Can you guys see that? This is gonna be. I don't. I don't want to put it in there because and keep it one-handed. I almost think that it might be easier to put the figure and then put the arms in, but it's kind of space limited and everything. I should read instructions to see if use. I've never seen the review on this one, so I don't know how other people are doing this. This is of course used Jazzinc's own Batmobile. So when he designed this, he designed it specifically to fit in this chair I no longer have my Hot Toys. I sold it off to my brother. He's the proud owner of it now. And so right now, this is me gently putting it in. So I'm getting a bit of resistance somewhere. Um, it's not completely seated yet. All right, so I'm back, and so apparently, I don't remember how to remove this. I'm pretty sure you can. I just don't want to force it. So apparently you can. The spacers are there for when you apply it for the Batwing, but you can always remove it, or you're supposed to remove it when you put it on the Batmobile. I'm not entirely sure, but I do remember. I just suddenly remember that you can actually remove the steering wheel if you want to make it go in much easier. It's been so long since I played around with my Batmobile, honestly, that I don't remember the features in it. And look at that! It just now it really goes in so much more easier that way. And then you can put in the steering wheel again. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have a hard time putting it in because I can't see the hole. So I'm gonna leave it at that. And there's a lot of space now. Oh, there's gotta be a better way of but this is not meant for my Batmobile anyway. But let's see. So now let me put spacer back in there, and then carefully, I don't want to scratch up my Batmobile paint, and slowly push that in there. And this is not seated properly in yet. Oh my god, my Batmobile is so dusty. There. Yeah, so he fits in. I mean, there's a lot of space in there. This is how careful I am. I'm basically putting my fingernails underneath here and lifting it. I don't want to scratch up this beautiful paint job, which is very, very dusty right now. So careful. So careful with this beautiful Batmobile, man. Oh, the cape is kind of hitting the rail of the guide rail. That's why. But let me get you closer in so you can see how much space this guy has in terms of headroom. See? Look at that. Plenty of. Unlike with the Hot Toys, you can put it in there. It's just going to be really, really scary. Hold on a second. All right, I'm just going to hold it up like this because I don't want to remove it. But as you can see, I'm going to put some light on here. There's plenty of room in there and everything. I'm not going to put my steering wheel on because I really am going to remove this Batman. And I'm going to put it in my All right, we're going to try. We're going to try to do it on camera. I might be blocking the shot. I apologize in advance. I obviously can't see what you're seeing as I attempt this, but I'll try. Oh, by the way, that's the way he looks. So if you're curious, as you can see, the positioning of the arms over here and everything. There's an easier way of doing this, and I'll try to talk about it. I'm trying to position. I'm making it a little bit more harder than it should be because I'm trying to position the cape to lay flat. I need one of my tools, or actually this will work fine, a brush. Just so I can try to lay this cape down where it's not bunching up and causing. Oh yeah, that's better. So that's what I would do. I would just get a brush, something that's not sharp with a dull edge. That way you're not going to be damaging the fabric too much. I've got to be careful because I don't really know how secure the support is for my Batwing. Obviously, I've had my Batwing for years now on this stand, and it should be okay. I think it's there on there now. And I have the canopy here. I still have not figured out a way how to attach the canopy properly in this position without the danger of it falling off. I'll attempt, and I've kind of wrapped it in this, what do you call this kind of plastic for food? Saran wrap, just so it's protected from anything. But I'm just kind of putting it on there right now so you can see that it will close with it. I can see the ear kind of poking into my saran wrap, but my saran wrap is not completely flushed on the head. So there's just about perfect spacing for your Batmobile and your canopy to close. I still have not figured out how to put it in there horizontally. I think you can do it with magnets. I don't know. I still gotta figure it out. But as you can see now, it's sitting flush, and that's where he's gonna stay. The funny thing is, it's a black figure, so I know he's there. It's just you don't notice it as much. The stand that I'm on right now, again, I haven't messed around with it for. Oops, this is making so much mess. So I know it's there. I mean, it's, you know, but it's black. It's a black on black, so it's kind of hard to know. But it's. I have to figure it out later. But let me give you guys a close up on how it's going on. So the only thing is, as you notice, the hands don't properly grip. This is supposed to be for that, and that's supposed to be for that. That's the only comment I will have. It's the same thing with the Batmobile. The hands are, like I said, it's hard plastic. It's not pliable or anything like that. So it's going to be hard to have him grip the controls. All right, I'm going to have to do my final thoughts with just the instruction booklet and the arms to show off. So my final thoughts: is it a great value? I believe so. For $125, you're getting such a detailed look of a 1989 Batmobile, Batman, knowing it's not posable, but the paint application on the skin tone is great. The sculpture on the head, it looks good. It looks good seated there. It really, really does. So for $125 to be able to get that, it's just unbelievable for me. I was really, really tempted to get two of them. I would value it at $15. If you have a 1989 Batwing and if you have a 1989 Batmobile from Jazzinc, why not? Why would you suffer if you have the Hot Toys Batman, 1989 Batman? You know how hard this is to pose because of the thick rubber. So why not get the $125 instead of buying another one? If you want an easier way of seating it, remember you can always remove the boots. So you only need, honestly, here's the other thing with Jazzinc. You didn't even need the boots because everything in there is hidden. But all you need is all the way here, maybe up to the thigh. And even that, I probably would have bought it for $125. It would be like the value would have been lower, but that's all I need anyways, the upper part right here. And yet he did all the way to the boots. So it's a big plus for me. So it's a completed figure. And also, if you want an easier way of putting it in the cockpit, both cockpits, you can always just remove the boots because you really don't need it. So my only comment on this is the fact that it's not able to hold the steering wheel or any of the controls in the Batwing because this is really hard plastic. As you can see, I'm going to try to bend it. You can see my flesh getting white as I try to bend this arm, and that's a separate grip, right? It's not like connected. It's not like one piece. See, but it's just too hard. Now I understand why he had to do it because I feel like this is a perfect material for the arm, but I feel like what he should have done was get a cut here, and then just plug in the arm, the hand, using a more pliable, more rubbery material. That way you can bend the finger and hold it properly and everything. That's the only thing that's breaking the illusion right now. To be honest, it is a great piece, but it just cannot hold onto the controls. But other than that, I feel I don't regret buying it. I'm still right now even tempted to wonder if I should buy a second one. 125 for my Batmobile, but my Batmobile is always going to be closed. I actually don't like the Batmobile with an open canopy. I like the idea of it being able to open it and look inside and everything because it all lights up and everything, but I just love the sleekness of that design closed. So I would put the value in this one at 15 because, like I said, if you have the 1989 Batmobile from Jazzinc and you have the Batwing, why wouldn't you? It's $125. So yeah, even with the gripe of not being able to hold it, it's minimal for me. It's I recognize the fact that it's a point of failure, but for the price, it's not a big of an issue. It is an issue, but not that big of an issue. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's it for my review of Jazzinc's 1989. What did he call it? 1989 pose seated vehicle accessory. Juice was able to bypass the fact that he doesn't have the license to do figures, so he did accessory posed and everything. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope it helped you out. I think it's a great bag. I think you need to get it. It's really, really good for what it is. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys in my next review. Bye.